What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm James and this is Clearwater Fishing, and today we're going to be testing the theory, does fluorocarbon stretch less than monofilament? We're going to also throw a little bit of a twist in there, so y'all stay tuned, and we're going to go over the test real quick and then we're going to do the testing procedures. So real quickly, going to show you my little quick setup. We're out here in the garage. So what I have is my tape measure set up right here on the bottom. I'll be tying my fishing line, anchoring right here. And then we have the tape measure here. We're going to get 15 feet all the way to here. 15 feet of line. And then we're going to stretch it and see how far it stretches. Now the test will be done at 10 pounds for all the tests, and then I'll do it again all the way till break. So we have a 12-pound test system and a 15-pound test system, but they're all going to be tested at 10 pounds of pull, and we're going to see how far it stretches. I have 5 brands of 12-pound test, 2 of them fluorocarbon, 2 mono, and then 1 copolymer. And then again on the 15-pound test, I have 3 brands total, 1 fluoro, 1 copolymer, and 1 monofilament. First line we have here is Cummins Squad 12-pound 100% fluorocarbon line. We have 12 thousandths of an inch and 0.295 millimeters. Next is Berkeley's Vanish. This is kind of the budget-friendly fluorocarbon line, 100% fluorocarbon. 12 thousandths of an inch average diameter or 0.30 millimeters. Next is our first fluorocarbon line, 13 thousandths of an inch or 0.33 millimeters. Next is our extremely budget-friendly monofilament. This 700 yards cost me less than $2 to buy. It is 13 thousandths of an inch in diameter, which is also 0.33 millimeters. Last but not least is one of my favorite types of line to fish with is the fluorocarbon coated line. It is 12 thousandths of an inch in diameter and also 0.31 millimeters. Moving on to our 15-pound test, we have a line that has 13 thousandths of an inch or 0.34 millimeters. So next is our 15-pound copolymer, the P-Line Fluoro Clear. On the label here, it does not have the specs, so I had to look them up. It is 14 thousandths of an inch in diameter, which is also 0.36 millimeters. The last line we have today is our extremely budget-friendly monofilament, which is 15-pound test and 15 thousandths of an inch. All right, so this is the first test. I've done a few practice runs, and I found out that 10 pounds is a little too much force, so we're going to reduce that to 8. And I have this nice scale for you guys to see. This first one is actually starting off at 15 foot 6 inches. It's kind of hard to tie to a specific length, so 15 foot 6 inches. This first line is Cummins Squad Fluorocarbon, the 12-pound test. £1 pound, 2 pounds. Got 2 scales to watch here. We're at 17 foot at almost 5 pounds. I probably should be wearing safety glasses. Okay. 7 pounds, we're at 17 foot 7 inches. And 8 pounds, we are at 7 foot 10 inches, 17 foot 10 inches. Maybe 11. Nope, 10 and a half. 17 foot 10 and a half inches for the Cummins Squad fluorocarbon. Let's push it on a little further, and it snapped. So the 12-pound test didn't even make 10 pounds. Both knots that I used were improved clinch knots on both ends. One was tied to a large tube that's pretty smooth, and then I tied the other to the clasp here, where it's also pretty smooth. So it looks like it broke on the knot right here. So the knot was the weakest part, and that typically is the case. So let's move on to the next line. This line is Berkeley Vanish. This is the budgeted fluorocarbon line. We're going to see how well it does. So this test is starting off at 15 feet 4 inches. And I said I was going to get me some safety glasses last time, so hold on. 8 pounds. We are at 17 feet 7 inches, sorry. Hold on. We're getting some plastic deformation here. 8 pounds is 17 feet 8 inches, and let's finish it off. 10 pounds, we're at 18.2. Oh, we made 10 pounds. So we made it over the Berkeley Vanish, the budgeted fluorocarbon line, made it over 10 pounds before it broke. That's kind of exciting. Looks like we broke at the knot again, except for this time it was at the knot at the other end. Okay, so this line is Berkeley Trilene. This is the extra smooth monofilament that they have. 12-pound test. Let's see what it can do. So we're starting off at 15 feet 4 inches. And 8 pounds, we are at 17 feet 5 inches. So just about the same. So let's push it on a little further. Looks like it broke at the knot again. Last number I saw was 9 pounds. So this line is our extremely budget-friendly monofilament. It is the Zebco Omniflex. Oh, and we started off at 15 feet 5 inches. There's 8 pounds. We are at 17 feet 4 inches. Let's get it back. 17 feet 5 inches. So there is a little plastic deformation that's going on here, and it's changing the weights. So let's give this a good pull and see where it breaks at. 11.75, and we're at 18.3. So the highest that I saw was 11.9 pounds. Okay, so finally we have my favorite line, the P-Line Fluoro Clear. 12-pound test. This is a copolymer line. Let's see how it does. Starting off at 15 feet 4 inches. 8 pounds, we are at 17 foot 7 inches. 17 foot 7 inches. Let's see how far we can go with it. Still didn't make the 12-pound test, but we're getting pretty close. We got to about 9.1. It's getting a little crowded in this area. So this concludes the 12-pound test. As you can tell, everybody's actually pretty much in the same range. We'll have to do the percentages to see who exactly stretched the most, because not all the links started exactly the same. Some were a couple inches different than the others. But overall, everybody's kind of in the same area. So I'm kind of call out the myth here that fluorocarbon stretches less than mono, because everybody's kind of in the same range. So the next part of this test, we're going to move up to the 15-pound test, and we're going to do 3 different lines here. We got the fluorocarbon, monofilament, and a copolymer, and we're going to give all those a shot. We're also going to pull those to 8 pounds, and we're also going to see what their breaking strength is. Okay guys, we're moving up to the 15-pound test. This is the 15-pound test. Google Squad fluorocarbon. We're going to see how it does. I've got a feeling it's going to have a little less stretch. We are starting off at 15 foot 3 inches. 8 pounds. 8 pounds, 17 feet 2 inches. Let's see where our breaking strength is. 10 pounds. The last strength I saw was 10.4 pounds. This line is P-Line's Fluoro Clear 15-pound test. Let's see how well it does. We're starting off at 15 feet 5 inches. 8 pounds, we are 17 feet 3 inches. Okay, let's test the breaking strength. I saw 11.2 pounds for the breaking strength. So this is our very last test. We're doing the Omniflex monofilament, the extremely cheap stuff. Let's see how good it does. We are starting off at 15 feet 5 inches. 8 pounds is at 17.2. See our breaking strength for 15-pound test. I saw 9 pounds. So the Omniflex only got 9 pounds out of this test, and it broke at the other knot. All right, guys, we are back in the studio. I've already got the numbers crunched. But before we jump into that, I want to know your opinion on how I could have made this test a little better. I just want to have some ideas from you guys. So back to the original question, does fluorocarbon stretch less than monofilament? Just like we've all been told many a time and a time again. So let's throw up the first graph. This is all the 12-pound test numbers. Just remember this was a single sample point, so there's going to be a little fluctuation in data, but overall the trend is pretty good. By the first looks, it would look like that fluorocarbon stretches actually more than monofilament. Let's throw up the 15-pound numbers real quick and see if it repeats. And you kind of get the same result there as well. Now, why is that? Well, we'll dig into that here in a minute. Before I explain why the fluorocarbon appears to stretch more than the monofilament, I want to throw up this last little chart here. And it is 12 and 15-pound tests. So we have two 12-pound test monos versus a 15-pound test fluorocarbon. And notice the diameters are all really, really close, and how close that their stretch is. Now the fluorocarbon in this case did stretch a little less, but it does have a slight diameter advantage as being a little larger. And I think you guys kind of know where I'm going with this. Let me throw up a graph real quick. Yeah, this is a graph of all of my tests, and it follows a pretty linear trend. The larger your diameter is, the less stretch you're going to get. So I didn't exactly test whether or not, hey, overall does mono stretch more before it breaks than fluorocarbon. That wasn't really the means of my test, but actually getting the results here, maybe that's exactly what I should have been trying to do. So it was kind of cool to see that last graph there where it pretty much follows a linear pattern. And it doesn't really matter what type of line you use. It's really the diameter that determines the amount of stretch you're going to get out of the line. But we did copolymer, we did monofilament, and we did fluorocarbon. All three in various different sizes and stuff. And they still followed a similar pattern. So it really makes me think that I'm going to call out this myth that fluorocarbon doesn't stretch as much as mono. At least at the same amount of force. Now, over at breaking strength, we may have a different story where it breaks. I don't know, it may stretch a lot more before it breaks. I did not test for that. And you guys let me know in the comments below whether or not you want me to try to do that in one of my next videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. But just like always, until next time, get out there and go catch you some fish.